Have you ever been stopped by someone who just couldn't believe your age? Maybe you were standing at a checkout counter, or meeting a new group of colleagues, or simply catching up with an old acquaintance you haven't seen in years, and they looked at you with genuine shock. They might have thought you were years, perhaps even an entire decade, younger than the date on your birth certificate suggests. At first, it might seem like just a flattering compliment, a lucky break from the genetic lottery, or the result of a particularly effective skincare routine. We live in a world obsessed with the superficial, spending billions on creams, serums, and procedures to stop the clock. But what if I told you that looking younger than your age isn't primarily about what you put on your skin? What if it is actually a sign, a profound biological indicator of something much deeper? It is the external reflection of a hidden internal state, a map of your psychology, your mindset, and the fundamental life choices you make every single day. People who seem to defy the passage of time often share a set of distinct psychological traits that act as a biological shield against the wear and tear of the world. In the ancient traditions of the Stoics, great thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, Seneca, the statesman, and Epictetus, the former slave, beauty and vitality were never seen as superficial accidents. Instead, they were considered the bloom of a healthy, virtuous soul. The Stoics believed that the state of your mind would eventually reveal itself in the state of your body. They understood that the face is not just a collection of features, but a canvas upon which your character is painted over time. If you've ever been told you don't look your age, pay close attention. This isn't just about vanity, it's about the state of your spirit. It's about the fact that your internal, inner citadel is so well fortified that the external world hasn't been able to leave its usual marks of exhaustion and decay. To understand why this happens, we have to look at the first hidden reason you possess an unbreakable spirit. Have you ever noticed how some people go through the absolute worst storms in life? Events that would leave most people hunched, grey, and bitter. Yet they manage to emerge looking almost untouched by time. They face heartbreaks that shatter their world, betrayals that cut deep, financial collapses, and personal losses. Yet, when you look at them, you'd never guess the battles they've fought. Their secret is a resilience that the Stoics cultivated with intense discipline. They understood that your mind controls your body more than we often realize. The weight of stress, anxiety, and emotional burdens doesn't just exist in the abstract realm of your thoughts. It carves itself into your physical being. It hunches your shoulders, tightens your jaw, and etches permanent lines of worry into your skin. Stress is a silent killer, and it is the primary thief of youth. When you allow stress to consume you, your body enters a constant state of survival mode, activating the sympathetic nervous system and flooding your bloodstream with cortisol. In chronic doses, cortisol is a biological wrecking ball. It breaks down collagen and elastin, the proteins responsible for skin's firmness and bounce. It causes systemic inflammation, dulls the complexion, and leads to cellular exhaustion. People who age prematurely are often those who have allowed their emotions to master them. They dwell on failures. They hold on to grudges like they are precious treasures, and they live in a constant state of what if. But those who look younger have mastered the Stoic art of emotional resilience. They follow the advice of Marcus Aurelius, who told himself to be like the promontory against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it. They take the blows, but they don't let the bruises remain. They understand the dichotomy of control, the idea that while they cannot control what happens to them, they have total and absolute control over how they respond. By refusing to let negativity take root, they keep their cortisol levels low and their vitality high. Their faces reflect a calm strength rather than a frantic struggle. Your skin remains vibrant because your soul remains at peace. You refuse to be defeated, and that psychological refusal acts as a biological causative. Another reason you may look younger is that you embrace change instead of fearing it. There is a specific kind of energy that some people carry, an unstoppable, fluid energy that makes you question if time even affects them. They move through life with an excitement and openness that seems almost childlike. This is because they have internalized the Stoic concept of the universal flow. The Stoics taught that the nature of the universe is change, and to resist that change is to fight against nature itself. Resistance to the natural flow of life is one of the fastest ways to age yourself. Think about the psychological stiffness that sets in when someone decides they've learned everything they need to know, or that the world isn't what it used to be. This mental rigidity manifests physically as tension and stagnation. You've seen it in people who are simply existing rather than living, the frown lines of disapproval that become permanent, the air of frustration that settles over their features like a veil, and the physical decline that comes from a mind that has stopped moving forward. They are stuck in a version of the past, and their bodies are tightening in a desperate, futile attempt to hold on to what is gone. Those who seem ageless are the ones who don't let a number on a birth certificate define their boundaries. They are the lifelong learners who welcome new ideas and new experiences. They don't see aging as a process of losing things, but as a process of becoming. This flexibility is a powerful anti-aging weapon. When you remain socially and intellectually engaged, you maintain stronger brain function and healthier bodies. Their minds stay sharp, and their spirits remain lively, which naturally reflects in their appearance. They radiate a youthful energy because they aren't weighted down by the anchor of the past. If you embrace the unknown and see life as an adventure rather than a threat, you carry an aura of vitality that makes people wonder what your secret is. The third hidden factor is that your mind is always curious. True youth, in the Stoic sense, starts with the faculty of reason, or what they called the logos. The moment you stop being curious, the moment you stop asking questions, and stop wanting to dive deeper into the mysteries of existence, is the moment you start aging in ways that no surgery can fix. A dull mind inevitably leads to a dull body. Contrast the person who has settled into a repetitive, uninspired routine with the person who is endlessly curious. The former loses the spark in their eyes. Their posture sags under the weight of boredom. They aren't living, they are merely waiting. But the curious person sees life as a vast library that they have barely begun to explore. Curiosity is the exercise of the soul. When you keep your mind stimulated, you trigger neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections. This keeps your cognitive functions youthful. But even more than the biology, curiosity changes your entire presence. People with youthful curiosity have a certain glow. Their eyes are brighter because they are actually looking at the world rather than just staring through it. Their expressions are more animated because they are engaged with the present moment. They don't see life as something that is slipping away, but as something to keep discovering. This mental fire keeps the body warm and the face alive. The fourth reason you look younger is that you express your emotions freely and honestly. There is a common misconception that Stoics were about suppressing emotion or maintaining a stiff upper lip. Nothing could be further from the truth. The Stoics were about processing emotion so that it didn't become a passion, an irrational, destructive force. There is a massive physical difference between someone who processes and releases emotion and someone who locks it away in a basement. When you suppress your feelings, whether it's grief, anger, or even intense joy, you create a chronic internal tension. This tension doesn't just stay in your mind, your body absorbs it. It tightens your facial muscles, clenches your jaw, and manifests as deep, hardened lines around the mouth and eyes. Years of unexpressed emotions physically alter your appearance, giving you a heavy or worn-down look. Stoicism encouraged the processing of emotion through logic and journaling. People who age gracefully allow themselves to feel. When they are happy, they laugh fully. When they are sad, they acknowledge the pain, speak about it, and let it go. They don't carry the tension mask that many people wear as they get older, a mask designed to hide their true feelings from the world. This emotional honesty keeps their faces expressive and vibrant. By speaking your truth and releasing your pain, you free yourself physically. The face is a reflection of the soul. If the soul is unburdened and honest, the face remains light and youthful. Fifth, you are highly selective about the energy you surround yourself with. The Stoic teacher Epictetus famously warned his students to be careful about who they associated with, saying that, if you associate with a person who is covered in soot, you cannot help but get some of that soot on yourself. If you constantly expose yourself to negativity, it doesn't just sour your mood, it wears down your body. Think about the people who complain constantly, who criticize everyone, and who drain the energy from every room they enter. Being around them forces your body into a state of high alert. This constant low-level threat response keeps your heart rate up and your stress hormones flowing. However, those who look younger often have a secret social filter. They carefully choose their environment. They spend their time with people who lift them up, who challenge them to grow, and who bring laughter into their lives. They know that a negative environment is a slow poison. Positive social interactions release oxytocin and endorphins, which are the body's natural anti-aging chemicals. These hormones counteract the corrosive effects of stress and help repair cellular damage. Laughter and genuine connection are biological rejuvenators. If you've been told you look younger, it's a sign that you've managed to keep your energetic field clean. You've surrounded yourself with life givers rather than life takers, and it shows in the radiance of your skin and the brightness of your eyes. The sixth hidden reason is your commitment to temperance and self-discipline. The Stoics practiced the virtue of temperance, the ability to enjoy the world's pleasures without becoming a slave to them. In a modern world designed to keep us addicted to dopamine hits, from junk food and alcohol to endless scrolling, this discipline is rare. We often think of looking young in terms of what we add to our lives. But for the Stoic, it was often about what they had the discipline to avoid. Overindulgence in anything ages the body at an accelerated rate. People who look younger usually have a quiet discipline about them. They don't let their cravings run their lives. This isn't just about dieting for the sake of appearance. It's about a fundamental respect for the body as the vessel of the soul. Marcus Aurelius wrote about treating the body with respect so it could serve the mind. By practicing moderation, you avoid the systemic inflammation and toxicity that come from excess. Your energy remains steadier because you aren't constantly riding the glucose roller coaster or recovering from the dehydration of excess. This discipline creates a clean look that no amount of cosmetic work can achieve. It is the look of someone whose internal systems are not constantly fighting against the damage of their own choices. It is a vitality that comes from the inside out. Finally, the seventh reason you look younger is that you have learned the ultimate Stoic art, the art of letting go of the past. The past can be a heavy, soul-crushing burden. Every unresolved conflict, every shard of regret, and every ounce of resentment you carry acts like a physical weight on your back. The Stoics practiced amor fati, the love of one's fate. They believed in accepting the past completely, not just tolerating it, but embracing it as necessary, so that they could live fully in the present moment. Holding on to the past physically changes you. Chronic resentment keeps the body in a state of chronic stress, which leads to premature aging, wrinkles, and even chronic illness. But those who look younger have mastered the art of forgiveness. They've made peace with their mistakes and forgiven those who hurt them, not for the other person's sake, but for their own biological and spiritual freedom. They understand that the past is a ghost that can only haunt you if you give it permission to stay. By living in the now, they keep their energy fresh. They don't have the ghostly weight of 20-year-old grudges pressing down on their eyelids or pulling at the corners of their mouths. When you release the past, your body repairs itself. You feel lighter, you move freer, and you look younger. You are not a museum of old pains, you are a living, breathing expression of the present. If you found these insights into the connection between Stoic mindset and vitality interesting, I want you to take a moment to reflect on your own life. Looking younger than your age is not a shallow victory. It is a profound testament to the work you have done on your character. It is proof that you have chosen resilience over bitterness, curiosity over stagnation, and discipline over excess. It is a sign that you have built an inner citadel that the world cannot easily tear down. I want to encourage you to keep walking this path. Your vitality is a gift, but it is also a responsibility. It is the evidence that your philosophy is working. If you found this video helpful, I want you to do 3 things right now. First, hit that like button. It helps this message reach more people who might be struggling with the weight of the world. Second, subscribe to join our community of those seeking to live with strength, wisdom, and timelessness. And third, tell me in the comments, what is the craziest age mistake someone has ever made about you? I'd love to hear your stories and see the proof of your Stoic resilience. Stay youthful, stay powerful, and remember that the best skincare routine is a virtuous soul. I'll see you in the next video.